States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out.
Citizens of America,
the so-called Western forces of Texas and California
have suffered a very great defeat.
We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
You're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know? Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move! You're gonna hang back.
Under God, indivisible.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
That's a spicy meatball.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the trailer for the new movie that's coming out in 2024, Civil
Spring.
War.
Yep.
And that trailer, like, it's just really cringe. Would you agree?
No, I would not say that it is cringe or base. A24. I've seen quite a few good movies from A24. I really liked Ex Machina. If you've never seen that one is really, really good. Takes a wonderful look at futurism and like AI. I quite enjoyed it. I binge watched it like 5 times. But I would like to hear what you say is cringe about it.
Well, basically, like, one, they're showing journalists as the good guys.
I mean, it does show them as the characters, right?
It seems like they're showing them as the good guys, though. Like, the journalists
Well,
are good.
I mean, they're the protagonists.
And
the
then
main
of course,
character.
you have a soldier asking, "What kind of American are you?"
I gotta say, that dude,
They're racist.
what's his name? Jesse
Smollett. I'm kidding.
That's another dysgenic savage. Jesse something with a P. Plemons, I think his name is.
Was he in Breaking Bad?
I think he was, yeah. He is just like an ugly dude. Like, he is very, very ugly, and he's not a wonderful actor. I just have to say that. Like, I see him on screen, and I'm like, ugh. So yeah,
I think that explains why he plays, I don't know, like villains, because
yeah, I was listening to a podcast and he said like Jesse Plemons always plays like the dysgenic, unlikable, gross dude, and it's like, yeah, that explains a lot. I don't know if because like the Elton John glasses make him look kind of. You wouldn't catch me
they make
dead.
him look GHEY.
Yes. Why are you? I think.
Why are
I
you?
don't know.
Why
I'm
are
not,
you? Who says I'm
not necessarily. You're good against like using journalists as the protagonists of it, you know.
They're, I guess, alternative media journalists, then maybe, right?
They could be, but how she says the main character chick is like some normie like CNN lady. How she's like, every war zone I went to, I thought I was sending back a message. Like, okay, bitch, whatever. You probably wanted Serbia to get bombed too.
Oh yeah. But what else is cringe that I noticed is Texas and California uniting. I mean, here's the thing. Like, here's the cringe part with a lot of fictional scenarios that are post Civil War. So I kind of noticed that, like, if it's like a comic book, a video game, and usually it's in video games and comic books, where if there is a Civil War, it's usually East versus West. So like it's kind of like a repeat of North versus South, but just the opposite, just East versus West. But during the first so-called Civil War, right? We technically was not Civil War, if you know what I mean. It seems like there's some kind of reason why the South was unified and the North was unified, right? It just made sense at the time that there was North and South. But if you're going to create fiction, if you're going to create like a video game or in this case a movie, you have to kind of make your fiction still has to make some sort of sense, right? And like if such a scenario existed, it would not be like necessarily East versus West. Like there's like no reason for the East as a whole to unite against the West as a whole. It would be more mixed. Now, I would say there will be some like a repeat of the South versus the North, but like there will be some Southern states today that are probably going to be more pro-Northern leaning. I'll say like there'll be like a lot of Midwestern states that are kind of going to be a lot of mixed bags. Then you have the Pacific Northwest, where like Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming,
Central.
like those states, they could unite with Texas. California and Texas uniting, and here's the thing: is California also united? Like in this movie, is California united with Oregon or Washington? Like that's reasonable. Like those three, they have reason to unite, especially against Texas. But like for them to unite with Texas makes like no sense. Now, the only thing plausible, like if you're trying to create a scenario like this, if I was going to write fiction, like this is all fiction. If I was going to write fiction, I would make sure that it makes sense. So like if in my fiction, I would make sure that the Californians are on board with the whole CalExit movement. And you heard about CalExit. And
Yes, I'm familiar.
yeah, CalExit, it's basically the left-wing version of, like Texit, basically. And like, of course, a lot of conservatives actually were like on board with this idea. Like, yeah, California should definitely leave. Like, we don't want California in the union. And so, like, if I was going to write fiction like this movie, I would try to make sure that like if I'll try to make sure it makes sense. So if California and Texas unite, in my story, I would have Californians support as a majority. I would have majority Californians support the whole idea of CalExit. And then it would make sense for them to ask the Texiters to temporarily unite. Like, hey, Texas, we both want to leave from the union, so let's combine our forces. Right? Let's combine our forces together into a temporary coalition. And then if we win, we separate and we go our separate ways, right? Like that's the only reason I would see Texas and California actually uniting over something. But here's the thing, majority of Californians, as left-wing and as liberal as they are, they're not really interested in the whole CalExit thing. Texans, on the other hand, they're interested in Texit. So like if I was going to write fiction like this movie, I would make sure that like in this alternative world, Californians support CalExit and they have something to unite with Texas with, like a common enemy, a common goal. But right now, as I see it, the movie, like from what I understand right now, makes no sense to me because I don't see why would California and Texas unite? Like what is that would force California and Texas to unite together? I don't know.
Okay, are you ready for this? You just agreed with Tim Pool, and I'm going to shame you for agreeing with Tim Pool. That's literally exactly what Tim Pool said. So I crunched some numbers. As the underpaid intern and analyst, I crunched some numbers actually. And Tim Pool specifically said Texas is a Republican stronghold, and they never side with California. Numbers. Not a spy has numbers. In 2016, the Texas population was 27.9 million. In the 2022 head count, there were 29.5 million Texans. That's a population gain of 1.6 million, right? Now it's been 2 years since that, well, almost 2 years, 1 year and change. So by the end of next year, will be another year. So Lord knows it might go up another 1.5 million. And we could have, 1.6 million, and we could see a population gain of 3.2 million. That will be also, mind you, like 10% of the state, an additional 10% prior to these numbers being recorded. If we look at the polling numbers from the last election in 2020, Trump polled and this was the presidential primary. He got 52% of his voters, or of Republicans, to vote for him. He voted 5,890,347. Biden got 46. Keep those percentage numbers in mind. He got 46 of the Democratic Party vote, and he voted 5,259,126. That is very close. And when you're talking about 3 million potential people moving into Texas, most likely a lot of these people are moving from New York and California. I know Arizona just recently finally became blue. After years of people saying it was never going to happen, Arizona did in fact become blue the last presidential race. We could see that same thing happening with Texas, especially with the polling numbers President Biden saw in the last election cycle, where he only got 46% of Texas Democrats voting for him. So, as much as it sounds weird, it is not an absurd thing for Texas to turn blue this new cycle. So, who knows? You know, maybe that's what something Andrew Garland, the director person, wrote about. Also, they mention 19 states secede in it. Among that, I actually don't know if this includes Florida, but they mentioned Florida seceded too. Florida being...
Don't they, in the trailer, don't they describe Florida as like its own separate coalition, but in alliance with the Western Coalition?
Yeah, so you have the Western Coalition, the Florida Alliance, and then...
Beware of Florida, man.
Yeah. And then potentially 19 other states. So that's 16 to 21 states you're looking at. And just like the variation of the 3 states that we know, Florida, Texas, and California, it looks like it would be far more of a general secession. Also, the part where they talk about this, they could just be doing this for like cinematic purposes for the advert. But the part where they mention airstrikes on New York, yes, I've watched this trailer like 12 times, trying to extrapolate all the information I can, because it's kind of hype. They mentioned the airstrikes in New York, and then it shows flyover of, they mention airstrikes of civilians, then it shows a flyover of New York, which makes one curious if that's actually part of the story, or they were just like, that's a good shot, put it in the ad. If that is part of the story, that would be New York, Florida, Texas, and California, which, except for Florida, are all blue states. Yes, I'm considering Texas blue.
Ooh.
I'm putting some clout in the casino. I'm going to say Texas is going to be an upset this new election.
Okay, but what is it that makes those states secede? Is it like Trump's reelection?
I don't know. So they don't tell us enough from it, but they mentioned that he's a 3-term president in the advert.
Okay. So basically these blue states, they're seceding because there's a Republican president. Is that what the movie director is out? He says, or what is it?
Well, they don't tell us enough. He could be a Republican or Democratic president. We don't know enough. As stupid as it sounds, did you catch what tie color he was wearing? I think it was like a gray.
Oh, I don't know.
Because that might actually tell us. So it could be either. That's why I mentioned like a general secession. A lot of Americans tend to, I'm like you mentioned with the North versus South from the last Civil War. A lot of the country is mixed up now, and there's no clear lines like there was back then in the 1860s. So one could be looking at a far more general secession
Well,
kind of thing.
here's the thing. I'd say with Arizona, it was probably more purple than blue. Like
It was before, but it's going to keep getting bluer
Yeah.
the more time goes
well, yeah,
by.
because there's more Californians moving in, but at the same
Exactly.
time, a lot of these Californians, like, just to be fair, I think they'll be powerless against actual like right wingers, and so I'm not just saying I'm not going to use the word Republicans or conservatives, because like there's more like to the right wing than just those two cringe factions, right? But yeah, so I would say like if the right wing just like got together, I still think like those Democrats would just have to submit to the new authorities that are taking over, right? Because they don't want to be sent away to a camp today. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
the ball is a lot more up in the
So
air.
basically, like I think like if the movie is describing like a peaceful secession, then I guess yes, you know, like it's like if voting wise, right? If let's just say Arizona becomes blue, Texas is blue, right? And they don't like this 3-term president. And so, yeah, I guess voting wise, they could all vote to secede, right? But I think if
Yes.
if there is no voting in this secession, it's kind of more like there's propositions to secede, but one side does not get, what they want, so they use a different method to get what they want. And I say with this method, I think the Democrats in those blue states are still going to lose.
I would not
like for
be
example,
surprised.
in Illinois, right wingers, if they tried revolution, they'll just all be destroyed because they're highly outnumbered by not just the voters, but like basically all the cops, and I'll say a lot of the National Guard soldiers are just left wing. So because the National Guard is actually like more like is basically more mentally localized than federal forces. Federal forces are all like a gray mixed bag, right? But National Guard forces, a lot of them are more like just like localized. They have like a localized mentality, and so,
Interesting that
so
you
I
mentioned.
so my point is that like even like let's say the movie's predictions come true, right? I still think that like blue states that just recently became blue, I guess you could say they're right wingers. If they just decide to use physical force, I think they could outnumber those people. So
So interesting that you
so,
mentioned
so
that.
that's
With-
why I'm saying like even if Texas does turn blue, I still don't see Texas aligning with California.
I think it would, honestly. I think it would. Very recently, I believe it was about 3 weeks ago. If I remember right, the governor of Illinois, I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, but I definitely know this happened. I believe it was the governor of Illinois. They were polling, or not polling, they were under
Are you
recruiting
talking about
for
the gun registration thing? That it's like a recent event.
No, different one
Oh.
actually. So they were going through recruitment numbers for National Guard, federal forces, and
Okay.
police, and they were like 40% under. And the governor, again, I could be completely wrong. It could be like his secretary or whatever, but if I recall correct, it was the governor, stated that they're going to start offering citizenship to non-Americans for which I know some idiot's going to hear that and be like, whoa, base. That is not base. That is not based. That is literally what.
Wait, who says that's
just-
based?
I know some idiot's going to hear that, be like, haha, service guarantee citizenship. Look up Foderati. F-O-E-E-E.
Yeah, the Foderati. Yeah. Hey, Romans, how'd
Yeah.
that work out for you?
Yeah, exactly. People, please Google Foderati and see how that worked out. Not well at all. So you're seeing that active.
Hey, look, Foderati, they're barbarians at the gates. We know. Commander, what's your point?
Ooh. Well, let them in. We don't want to be racist. So we're actively seeing things like that happen. I believe California will see similar things. I haven't seen it yet, but I really do believe that once it happens to two states, starts implementing these neo-foederati systems, they're going to happen more. And the federal and National Guard forces will be far less loyal to constitutional
Yeah.
tides, you could say.
Yeah. Well, like I still think that like a National Guard and red states will still be kind of more reddish, you know,
I
or
hope.
at least purplish.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
actually, funnily enough, there's
before you
unrelated.
before you continue, I would like to also note that recently I think Mark Milley said that they prefer to see more actually less white people in the U.S. military.
This guy.
And they said that they need more people of color, more diversity in the United States military in general, right? And I think he was talking about the army, or I think he meant the whole military, like as a whole.
I think he meant
Also, and plus on top of that, like the former Republican chairman, what's his name, that recently got kicked out, McCarthy. He said that his goal is to see less white people in the GOP and more people of color in the GOP. Yeah. This actually backs up your point, how like they're trying to get more disloyal people into like into our military, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mind you, so let's say, hypothetically, this three-term president is Trump, right? Let's just, let's say that would mean that there would be this election cycle, worst case. There would be this election cycle, then another election cycle. Heavens knows what could happen in 8 years. But interestingly enough, as I often say, 1 is strange, 2 is a coincidence, 3 you should start to worry. There's this movie, and recently released on Netflix. I believe it was directed by Barack Obama. Is a film called Leave the World Behind.
I heard some really bad things about that movie.
I'm not saying you should watch it at all. I myself watched a review of it because I'm not giving. Actually, I might just out of curiosity hate watch it to like see like the details of it.
Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, should I just reopen my subscription to Netflix just to see that one movie?
No, pirate it. But apparently, there's another movie released within like not even 10 days about a civil war starting. How bizarre is that? If we see one more, y'all should start getting worried about the state of this country. I'm just gonna say it.
Interesting how like it's now kind of mainstream now in movies. They're now showing how there's just going to be a collapse, right?
I was actually going to send you. So HBO, this was years ago. This was like in the late 90s. HBO actually made a Civil War II movie. I was going to send it to you and say like, hey, watch this, but you were busy today.
Okay.
So we can have more to talk about. But actually, the National Guard discussion is a huge part of that film. It's free to watch on YouTube. Just just look up HBO Civil War II. It's like an hour and a half. It's got James Earl Jones, Phil Hartman, Ron Perlman. Yeah, it's actually like pretty.
Well,
it's a dark comedy.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but
it's
like,
a dark comedy about a very serious.
Have you heard of this? It had like 1 season, I think. It was supposed to have more seasons, but I guess it wasn't really popular. I thought the concept was interesting. It's called Revolution. And
I feel like I heard about that.
Yeah, like they had like probably 1 season, like 1 season or maybe 2 seasons, right?
What was it on?
Like this was way before like a lot of the big channel. This was before like a lot of the big cables switched over to like streaming apps, right? I don't think it was HBO. I forgot what it was. It was some kind of major cable network that was showing it, and this was back in 2010, I think. What's interesting though, in this show, Texas is actually like where the new capital of the United States is, ironically. you would think it would be the opposite in a scenario like this, right?
I mean,
But basically, like so,
never
I
know.
guess like the United States is controlled by someone else, by like this revolutionary faction, and then there's like a third faction, like they're kind of more like we want to be left alone, kind of like this anarcho commune, and they're actually the main protagonists, like this third faction, like they're really small, and so. But apparently, like the leader of this third faction, he knows like the new American leader, the revolutionary leader, like he knows him. Yeah, so the United States government they had to flee to Texas, and so Texas is where like the
Ah,
capital of the United States is. So basically, like the United States government exists, but they had to flee to Texas because apparently
mhm.
the real capital got taken over by these revolutionaries.
I'm not very hopeful for Texas, honestly. Texas is a lot of talk and no walk because
Honestly, that's most conservative Republican Texans,
that
right?
is true.
Like for a little bit, like they'll get you all like gun ho, like inspired. But then when you think about it, wait a minute, like nah, this all just talk. This is all dopamine
Yeah.
in the brain. That's all
You've
it
been
is.
threatening to secede for 80 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to secede. Stop. Like,
Although
shut
to
up.
be fair, one year ago, they did attempt to actually pass something. So yeah.
I think a Greater Idaho is going to pull through before Texas secedes.
Really.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Greater Idaho, they're actually like 80% along through their referendum.
Well,
Completely successful last time I checked.
Well, like going back to the movie, like I'm thinking, like I wonder, is this movie just going to be like this West versus East? But then if they have Florida as a separate nation, so I guess it's not
I
100% West versus East,
don't think
because it might be a little
so.
bit of the South as well. But
Mhm.
also, like who are the actual good guys or bad guys in this movie?
I don't know.
Because
I feel
California is literally like just like New York. New York and California are
Mhm.
both like these safe places for the ultra left. And
Yes.
so like Texas uniting with California, like, and again, assuming this movie is showing a red Texas, a Republican Texas, uniting with what we know as blue California today, like are they still the bad guys or the good guys here?
I would wager that it assumes a blue Texas. I believe that it's probably thinking Texas is going to go blue. That's a
Yeah.
huge like
Okay,
thing to
so even if
We don't
Texas is
know.
blue, in this movie,
That doesn't explain Florida.
well, like not just that, but I mean, but still, are they are the blue states the good guys or bad guys in this movie?
Oh, okay.
Like,
I don't know.
Citizens of America.
The so-called Western forces of Texas
Right
and
here.
California.
Right there.
wait, what? So
Rewind
right
it.
here?
Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah. So these guys have Hawaiian shirts on. That one right there.
Yeah, so
Right
these are
there.
probably Californians for
Hawaiian
sure.
shirt. No, those aren't Californians. They're Boogaloo Boys.
Oh, that's also a possibility. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, you remember that?
No,
The guy that
I'll say
looked
this.
at the
I do remember going to a conservative rally and a gun owner from California showed up dressed like that. So
Yes. So it's not really much of a thing these days, but there's still kind of a boogeyman on the press. By the way, I did notice that the president has a red tie. He has a maroon tie. If you want to rewind it a little bit more, right there.
The Western forces of Texas and California.
Bingo.
okay, so the president does have a red tie.
He does have a red tie, yes.
Okay, and so
So-
the guys, they are wearing the Hawaiian shirts. So you're saying those are Boogaloo Boys, but like still, are they the good guys or the bad guys here?
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna find out who the good guys or bad guys are. If we were to take a swing with a bat at who it might be, they're probably going to represent red as bad and blue as good. Because red tie
Okay,
wearing.
but
president,
the Boogaloo Boys, do you think they're defending the president or fighting against him?
they're probably going to defend the president. That's my money.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's my
Okay,
money.
Now you know the scene where the guy says, "Well, what kind of Americans are you?"
Yeah.
So like like are those like federal military, or are they also part of the coalition fighting? You know,
Clue.
like
I have no clue.
yeah, it's just so weird.
Yeah.
Like
It's
or
there's
like
so many moving
or
parts.
like are they trying to show us that the Republican president is a tyrant, and so the Democrat militias have united?
That could very well be
Yeah.
what it's showing. That
and
very well
and
could be it.
they're still probably going off this narrative that the current U.S. military is still too patriarchal and still too white and too racist, and so therefore, the character asking that character asking, "What kind of Americans are you?" He's probably a federal soldier who's white, and he's probably fighting for the president.
Mhm.
And the journalists, like they're probably going to defend the Democrat militias. What do you think?
Yeah, and they're probably going to represent the Boot Boys. If you paid attention, because again, like I said, they haven't been around for a couple of years, really. If there's one or two left, they're weirdos who live in basements. Don't talk with people wearing Hawaiian shirts at protests. Do not. You're better off not. This is to all the viewers. Do not associate with those people. But
it's not safe for your health.
No, it is not safe for your health at all. But they'll probably
physical or mental. Don't hang out with these people. Don't associate with these people ever.
Don't feed into it. Don't acknowledge they exist. If you've been, because like the news still talks about them. They're like the Boogaloo movement. Like, dude, okay, they haven't been relevant for years. But they still represent them as like a demon militia for Trump in the news, like to this day. So that would be my wager. Very interesting that they included that, though.
Yeah. Or they could just be Democrats from California.
You really like that idea, don't you?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, like it just kind of matches the climate, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it could be either. I could be completely wrong. And
They could be from Hawaii.
So much. Hawaiian militia. Oh God.
Yeah, like they fly over to help California, and boom, like they're dressed.
Hawaii would do that. Hawaii is redder than a boiled lobster. Different kind of red.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait a minute, they're not red.
I used my normal dialect for a minute and was like, crud, gotta specify.
Yes.
So yeah,
so
I mean,
this movie, like, but still, like, think it's worth watching in theaters, or just to wait for it just to come out on?
Oh, I will.
But you will?
I will totally. Oh, I totally.
Honestly,
will.
You know what? I probably should too myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be an IMAX. It's gonna be an IMAX, right?
Ooh, I think it will be.
Yeah. The trailer said at the end in IMAX. So yeah.
I'll pay the extra $1 because, like, I've seen it spread around a lot of places, and there's that part where there's the very gay-looking dude with the painted fingernails behind a scoped rifle, and people are like, "Gays wouldn't fight. This is so fake." It's like, dude, it's a movie. Suspend your disbelief.
Oh, are you talking about like the Statue of Liberty scene? Like, well, the poster. I saw the poster where they're on top of a Statue of Liberty, and one guy has an AK, I believe, and the other guy has like a 50 cal, and someone's saying that like the distance is too far. And I get that, like it kind of makes sense. Yeah, like why would you use that? Like,
well, hey guys, it's an advertisement poster. Stop thinking.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. An advertising poster is one thing, right? But if they actually show it in the movie, it's like, okay, this is not like realistic.
2,000. They do go up to 1,000. Actually, they go past 1,000, don't they? I think they go to like. I think
I'm not an expert on sniper rifles, so yeah.
This guy. If you pull up the advert again, the preview, actually. Right there.
Here we are.
Hold on. Okay.
It's kind of playing like frame by frame for me, but I did see like a moment ago there was the guy, ghillie suit, painted fingernails, and they're like pink and blue and stuff.
Yeah.
So like people are seeing that and they're being like, "This is so cringe and gay." It's like, dude, You don't even know the context of the movie.
Plus, it's a Hollywood movie, so what do you expect?
Hollywood, guys,
Although
calm
to,
down.
although to be fair, speaking of Amerigeddon, Amerigeddon was worse. It was way worse than this.
Wait, what?
Amerigeddon. Did you not see Amerigeddon? Like, I just
No.
realized that like there's another like Civil War movie made by extreme baby boomers, and it's just so cringe.
Amerigeddon? I've never heard of this.
Amerigeddon, dude.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna add that one to
so
the list.
basically, it's kind of if you're a cringe John Bircher, you would think this movie is the best movie in the world.
John
Well-
Birchers to just
Well,
perish.
I'm saying I'm using them as an example, right? There's other like other weird boomer political organizations out there that are just super cringe, and
They
so
need to perish. They all need to perish.
dude, the whole movie made me like cringe so much. It's that bad. And so Alex Jones was in this movie. Like he was in the beginning of the movie playing a corrupt senator.
Oh my god, I actually have to
So
see this.
yeah, he had a short part. He's only in the first 3 minutes of the movie, and
Okay.
so he's arguing with the main character, and the main character is this boomer who like wants to he's demanding that the U.S. government protect the grid, and Alex Jones saying, "Oh, we're safe," and the main character is saying, "Oh, we're not safe, and you're corrupt, you're evil." And I'm thinking, okay, great, great. Now they have to close the meeting because of your rudeness. And you made yourself look really rude on television, and no one's going to take you seriously anymore, you stupid boomer. But in the movie,
But
they
no,
make
boomers will see
but
that
in
and
the
be
movie, they
like,
make it
"Don't
seem like,
say
yeah,
no,
he's
they're
so righteous. He's telling those senators they're evil to their faces.
Yeah.
Okay, like, but here's the thing: the majority of voters are dumb people, so you kind of have to,
Mhm.
when you're like on national television like this, you gotta, be super calm and and professional because people kind of go for that.
Yeah, what a
Unless you're
lot of
Trump,
people
unless
don't
you're Trump.
get. Unless you're Trump, yes. Insult them to their face. But what a lot of people don't get is that, like, because they watch a lot of movies and they'll like, this is how the world works. They just can't take how righteous he is. It's like, no, that's not how it works at all.
No.
That's
Well,
not how legal
well,
proceedings
like,
work
so-
at all.
So in Amerigeddon, like it kind of goes off this outdated conservative boomer narrative that the Blue Helmets want to take over, right?
Oh,
that
God.
cringe story. Here's the
Oh.
thing. Here's the thing. You know what? We are the Blue Helmets. The United States is the Blue Helmets. Did you not watch Black Hawk Down? We were the Blue Helmets. Now, in the movie,
Well-
like in Black Hawk Down, like our guys, they don't wear blue helmets, right? But in reality,
Yeah.
like we were there as UN peacekeepers,
They
right?
did. They
and,
did.
like
In the end of the
United
movie?
States is part of the United Nations. The United
Yeah,
States is part
in
of
the
the
end
United
of the
Nations.
movie, actually.
And
When
also
they call in the
in
Malaysians
Yugoslavia,
and
we were UN peacekeepers too.
in the end of Black Hawk Down, when they call in the Malaysians and Pakistanis, they actually do show up wearing blue
Yeah,
helmets
well,
and white
because here's the thing,
UN.
we as Americans got to be a little bit unique, right? We got to be a little bit different, we got to
Yeah.
stand out a little bit, right? So we don't really wear the blue helmets, but we're all the blue helmets there, right? Like all those
Yeah.
soldiers in Black Hawk Down, all these cool American soldiers that you're watching, they're all doing blue helmet work.
Don't do this. Do not Google if the Allied forces were United Nations soldiers. Do not Google that. You will not be happy.
Yeah, and you're right. In the movie, they show that the Malaysians wear the blue helmets, and I think the Indians too. Indians were there too.
They
Yeah.
were Pakistan.
Oh, yeah, Pakistanis, yes.
Yep.
Well, what's not much of a difference.
Do
No-
not
no
say
offense.
that you're Pakistani.
No offense, my friends.
Down is one of my favorite movies. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. One, Ridley Scott is a good director.
I just love the action and the testosterone in the movie.
Dude,
I
have you
hate
ever
the politics
seen
in the movie, but I love the testosterone, the action. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie to watch.
Zulu? Have you seen Zulu with Michael Caine?
Yes, dude, that movie's
It's literally
epic.
Black Hawk Down is the modern version of Zulu. Changed my mind.
I cannot change my mind. No,
I love dude. I love Zulu.
like literally, Zulu is an awesome movie, dude.
Oh, dude,
Like,
yeah, that was
Here's the
good. That
thing,
was dope.
like it starts off like at first it kind of seems like it's calm, but no, there's alarm in the movie already. Like something's coming. Like the main character, not Michael Caine, but the other the colonel, right? The colonel who outranks Michael
Yeah,
Caine,
Colonel.
he's already saying there's a danger coming. Like in the beginning of the movie, there's a danger. Okay, let's get ready for this danger. And boom, like the whole movie is just like, are they gonna make it? Are they gonna make it? Are they gonna make it? And they make it.
It's
Yeah.
such a good movie. I would actually like totally recommend a double feature. I know, isn't Zulu like 3 hours long or something like that?
I don't think it was that long. No.
I feel like it was long, but if you want a good double feature, watch Zulu, then watch Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
They're so similar. They're both wonderful films. They're super well directed,
Now,
super
and did you watch
masculine.
the extended version of Black Hawk Down?
Yes, I did.
I
There's no-
used to own the DVD of the extended version, and
Ooh.
it has so many cool features on this DVD. Unfortunately, I was a dumb young person, and I lost it.
Mhm. Oh, that's
But yeah,
I
but
do
but it was
prefer
awesome. The extended version made the movie a lot more enjoyable.
I do prefer when Ridley Scott does a director's cut. Usually the director's cut is the best cut because he does like a theatrical extended and directors.
Okay, yeah. But we're not talking about Ridley Scott's recent failure, Napoleon.
Ooh, we have to do a review of that,
Yes.
don't we?
But going back to Armageddon, so like I remind the baby boomers that we are the Blue Helmets, right?
Yep.
And like
Since
and
1939.
so in the movie, the Blue Helmets are Russians and Chinese.
That's all.
So here's the thing. So in the movie,
Playing off like Red Dawn.
like it's okay. Here's the thing. It's okay if I spoil it for you because I know it's free on YouTube. You can find it right now on YouTube. It's free.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so here's the thing. I'll spoil it for you because it's totally worth spoiling, right? And
Mhm.
and so like so the grid gets like turned off. The grid for the whole country gets turned off in this movie.
Base.
Turn off the grid for the whole country, right? So, and what's interesting is that like they have some weird foreigners on the phone having a long conversation explaining his world plan for dominance of America. And what's cringe about this is that he has this long speech on the phone. I'm thinking, what kind of villain does this? Like seriously, like why does it have to be such a long conversation? Like he has to explain the whole world like project that he's planning. I'm thinking, dude, like okay, like do you guys not know how to make movies? The movie was made by Chuck Norris's brother, Mike Norris.
Oh, dude, that sounds terrible. That's
Yeah.
It's like they don't know how things work. Like bad guys.
Well,
gonna-
here's the thing. So
Oh,
the
no.
grid gets turned
He
off,
breaks it up.
right? So the grid gets turned off though, and so like the obviously the Republican characters, right? They're ready. Like, they don't say the Republicans, but we know these are Republican boomers, right?
I know, you know, we all know.
Like so like they're trying to show how old colleges are just these liberal hellscapes, right? And don't get me wrong, a lot of them are, right? But so this college, it's located in a very nice, safe area. It's not in some big city. It's somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Texas. Middle of nowhere in Texas. A huge college campus, middle of nowhere in Texas. So even if the grid does go out, let's say realistically, hypothetically, it goes out, right? Those college students are basically kind of safe, right, from outside dangers. Like they're what outside danger is going to bother them, right? They're in the middle of nowhere in Texas, nice, beautiful
Football
campus.
player.
Well,
Football player.
that's the internal threat, right? But I mean, like externally, they're pretty safe, right?
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna gonna say, hey, let's go raid at this college, right?
Yeah. Unless you
Like who's
classify-
gonna drive? Like who's gonna like especially if your car is made after 1982, right? Like your car's not gonna work. So who's gonna walk? I don't know, like 50 miles, 60 miles, 100 miles to some college campus in the middle of nowhere just to cause
Did
some
they
trouble.
get rated in the movie?
Yeah, the college gets raided for some reason by external people who have nothing to do with the college. And here's the thing: it's only two dudes wearing masks, and they're walking around with with pipes,
What the hell?
and the whole college campus. And here's the thing: So here's the thing. For some reason, like, so when the grid first goes out, the college students start thinking, "Oh, what's going on?" They're all chilling with their with some candles. They're like thinking, "Oh, this is interesting. We have no connection with the outside world, but this is kind of nice. We're just hanging out together." Then
Mhm.
for some reason, someone's car just randomly just blows up for some reason in the parking lot. No reason at all. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, what's going on? So the college students all stand up in horror and they go, ah, and then they start running around, right? And then like they show other scenes in the movie, right? So it's not just focused on the campus. They're showing like, the Texan boomer. They're showing this one American soldier questioning the whole UN takeover, right? And then
Dude.
like then whenever they go back to the college, every time they go back to the college scenes, for some reason, they're not explaining why. Everyone in college is running around screaming, ah, ah. I'm thinking one car exploded. Right. And because they're showing in the movie, they're showing different days, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5,
Oh,
right? And I'm thinking, wait a minute, how many days have gone by and people are still running around, going back and forth on the campus? Like, really, what the heck? Like no one. And here's the thing. They're not showing any of the, older faculty. Like they're not showing any professors, any deans, nothing. Like someone who tried to bring some sort of semblance of order, you know what I mean? As liberal as they might be, like they're still faculty, right? At
they're
least one
still
person from faculty would be like, "Hey, students, come down. What's going on here?" Right?
as awful as they are, they're still communists who are surprisingly very good at getting organized. Okay,
Yeah.
people.
But seriously, like at least one faculty person would do something, would try to calm everyone down. Come on, like it's several days already. One car blew up, and
That
all you're
makes me-
doing is running around. And here's the thing. Two dudes, then for some reason, out of nowhere, two dudes who are obviously not college students, walking around long trench coats with pipes in their hands, wearing masks, and one of the dudes walks out of the building and he goes, "Ugh." What was that? Well, why?
This makes me think of have you seen American Psycho?
Yes.
You know the part at the end where the cop car turns the corner and he like shoots at it and then it blows up and he's just like you know the scene.
He starts noticing.
He's like, what the hell?
Wait a minute. Like, okay, I get out. I'm a bad guy, but this makes no sense. It was a setup all along. Here's the thing, like,
Oh, dude,
it was not
I
actually
love
him.
that
It was an inside job.
I love that part.
Like he
That
was
made me
at the
laugh.
right he was at the wrong place at the right time. You know?
That made me laugh so hard when I saw that. I
Like,
had to
so
stop
when
them.
yeah, he goes, bam, wait a minute, what? Here's the thing. Someone else at the same time was committing their own crime. Like someone else was committing an inside job while he was actually committing like his own crime. He's like, wait a minute, what?
There's like a heist movie taking place in the background.
Yeah, and so basically, like whoever's doing the inside job now has a cover story. Oh, look, so some criminals shooting at the cop car.
Speaking of criminals shooting up cop car movies, Heat.
Heat.
We have to do a
Heat's 1996.
Yes, the
Al
Michael
Pacino and what's his
Yes,
name?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yes.
Oh, dude, I love that one.
Dude,
I
that
feel like
movie, like it's kind of weird for a mainstream movie. They shot it and they tried to imitate like a 1980s 1990s B movie cop film. Because if you're familiar with the late
Kind of.
80s, early 90s, a lot of the cop films, a lot of them were B movies, and it's the typical, undercover cops walking in, like bursting in, usually without a warrant, right? Just bursting in, beating the crap out of all the criminals until they get a confession on the spot, something like that, and they're cussing all the
Yeah.
time, right? And so, like, you won't really see that a lot in mainstream movies. But then Heat, it's a mainstream movie that's kind of imitating that B movie style.
And then he
Yeah.
makes a 3-hour epic.
Although the ending did not make sense for me. Like because
What
there's
part?
no way that Robert De Niro ran away so far, and Al Pacino being held up for so long was able to somehow catch up to him. You know, like it just kind of made no sense to me.
So from what I heard, if I actually think they had to like shoot the movie like 3 different times.
Mhm.
They shot the movie 3 different times, and they were all completely different every single time. So if I remember right, again, this could just be apocryphal. That ending is not actually what was originally
Mhm.
supposed to be. But he would shoot it, and then they would, he would view it and be like, "Nope, this is trash. Throw the whole thing out. Do it again." And they did that like 3 times, and the story changed every single time. It's kind of
Okay.
like the
So so at the end of the movie, what we're watching is like basically footage from like different shoots, right?
Oh, no, it was from the third one.
Okay,
It was
that's
from
the
the
third. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think their one just made it worse because like I'm thinking there's no way Al Pacino got held up for so long, and Rob De Niro was not able to get away. That was
I don't
BS.
I don't think about that too much, but all I think about, there's two things that keep me
But
up at night.
I do like how at least at the ends like they kind of shake hand, not shake hands, but it's not a handshake. He
They
actually
have a
grabs his
moment.
hand. He goes, "Hey," like
Yeah.
like he kind of like at least like um shows him at least some love at the end. He kind of like just grabs his hand. Yeah,
Yeah, because they're like they're respected enemies. I
yeah.
did like that they confirmed that at the end. There's two things that keep me up at night: that I will never see the first two filmings of Heat, and that the full cut of Blade Runner 2049 will never be seen because it was lost. Those
Oh,
keep me up all night.
that is
Watch
sad.
all night.
Yeah. But,
But
well, let's get back to the Civil War movie topics, right?
oh,
And so
or
and again, and before we go back to that trailer, I still had to kind of talk trash about Armageddon because I had to expose this movie, right?
keep going.
Dude, we should do like a watch like a sit down together. We should like watch this movie together and like just criticize the dismantle it, right? It's
I hate
it's so
watching
bad.
American.
So anyways, yeah. So going back to the college situation in that movie, like just two dudes walk around and still I'm thinking there's no way. Like I get it, it's a college campus, and it's a bunch of liberals with no guns, but come on, someone at least like you mentioned that they have a football team at least, right? Like some footballers would have like, got some blunt objects themselves and would have like tried to like beat those guys up or something. What?
College campuses have police departments
That's true.
that like do. And every single time a boomers make a movie, it reminds me of Ben Garrison political comics.
Think so. Sounds
Ben
familiar.
Garrison, he makes political comics, but he's the dude that will be like wall. He'll like label the wall. He will like label a light switch. Everything is labeled, and it's like, dude, that's too on the nose. We get it. Like,
It's a light switch. That's a
yeah,
wall.
he's literally the dude who'll be like air, water, and it's like, hey, Ben, nobody needed that. This is why no one takes you seriously, Ben. So when boomers make satire and stuff, they're always like, they're so on the nose. It's like, oh, the liberals don't know how to do anything. Why? Because they're liberals. Like,
Yeah.
no, they're probably more competent than you because they stole 2 elections and got away with it.
Then the actor playing the Russian guy, like he's wearing the blue beret, blue
Yeah.
helmet stuff, right? And he's talking, and for some reason, they want to go to the ranch because apparently they have this this audio recording about their Nations plan. And I'm thinking, why does it matter when like it's being implemented already? Like the plan is already being implemented with the grid being gone and the United Nations soldiers are taking over. So like,
Mm.
why are they trying to get this audio device, which doesn't matter anymore? People already know what's going on. You know, the plan is being implemented. Like, oh, we don't want you guys to expose our secrets. Like, but it's being implemented already. So why do you care? Right? But like, so they're arguing with the ranchers. This law was authorized by your president. Your president allowed this to happen. Yeah, just so
Well, like
stupid.
I've
Yeah.
I've learned that conservatives actually think that Republicans actually think that it's like once people see what's actually happening, then they'll change their mind. It's like, no,
No.
no, that's not how the world works. We've literally had like 4 of those in the past 4 years, and nothing happened. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, but this movie is horrible. Like Armageddon is really bad.
no. It
And
sounds
yeah,
terrible.
yeah, and I can't believe I forgot to mention it earlier in this recording, but yeah, like this movie is just so bad. Like look it up, Armageddon. Check it out.
We're going to, that could be the next episode.
Yeah.
We like watch it.
We should totally dismantle that movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, but going back to the trailer,
Yeah.
any more thoughts or comments about the trailer?
No, I'm totally going to watch it in IMAX. It could be
IMAX 3. Is it IMAX 3D though?
I have no idea. Last movie I
Hold on.
saw in theaters was Barbie. By the way,
Here's the thing. I refused to pay for that movie, so I watched the pirated version.
oh, was it in like Pashto or something?
No, it was Russian.
Oh, I actually quite enjoyed Barbie, but yeah, that was the last movie that I went to a theater. So, they got me to go to a theater. Like, I'm looking forward to this movie being out, unless they just stream it, which will be fake. But still, if they do just stream it, I will totally watch it. Quite excited. Oh, and I stand by my statement. If another movie about I'm not talking about like C-list, but like if another serious studio releases a movie about Civil War, humanitarian rations are going for $6 on Amazon. I recommend you get a case.
Or you could always go to info. I don't know if I should say the whole name of the website because I don't want to be shadow banned on YouTube.
Beta male vitality. It will bring back your hairline just like it did with mine. Look, I'm lush hair. So buy super beta male vitality and
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. Like basically, he keeps promoting all these supplements, but I don't really see him using them, or unless they don't work.
Listen to Not a Spy. Eat pasta. Eat pasta and
Pasta.
exercise.
Hey guys, so yeah, that's a reminder that you should watch our previous video, Exercise Like a Champ. Well, it's one of
Yes.
our previous videos, Exercise Like a Champ. Check it out. Not a Spy has a great lecture on how to properly work out and properly diet. So check it out. So like we covered the trailer. So like we're still gonna watch it in April. We talked about different movies, Armageddon, Black Hawk Down,
HBO Civil War
the HBO Civil War movie.
and Zulu.
We're talking about Black Hawk Down because we're trying to explain that
Yeah.
now we were the Blue Helmets of Black Hawk Down, and so and Zulu is just a different version of that movie.
They're both.
Actually, Black Hawk Down is a modern version of Zulu.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down is literally just the modern version.
And actually, both movies are based on true stories.
Yeah, they're based on true stories. They're both like tiny units of like Anglo, colonizers fighting off massive hordes.
Yeah.
They're both really good movies. I love them both.
So yeah, just remember, guys, like, share, subscribe, and also go to the merch channel. Please
Get the merch.
Yes, get the merch. Yes, show that again. Show the merch.
Jesse, pull that up. Showing merch.
Yeah. Okay. You're kind of disappearing. Okay.
Yeah,
Glitching.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of visible. Okay, guys. So that's one of the merch. Hey guys, and again, we're limited on merch, but we'll try to create more. We'll try to create more stuff for you guys. And I got like this new idea, so I'll have like a new merch item pretty soon. So yeah. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and go to the merch channel.
Oh, one more thing.
Okay. Yes.
Carthage must be destroyed.
You guys have a good night. I hope you guys enjoy this recording.
Stay
God
safe.
bless.